Most men are deaf. They listen for words, they wait for a verbal invitation, they wait for a sign that is loud and clear. But by the time she says yes with her mouth, she has already screamed it with her skin. You are looking for permission, but you should be looking for surrender. Welcome to Mind Before Skin. Today we represent the silence, the space between you and her, and the electric current that bridges that gap. We are talking about touch, not the accidental brush of a sleeve, not the polite handshake of a stranger. We are talking about haptic communication, the unspoken language of the nervous system. Science tells us a terrifying truth. The skin is not just a covering, it is the external brain. It is the largest organ of the human body, and it is loaded with millions of sensory receptors, waiting, starving. In the modern world, we are suffering from a condition called skin hunger. Psychologists call it touch starvation. She is surrounded by screens. She is surrounded by noise. She is surrounded by men who are too afraid to make a move, or men who are too aggressive and clumsy. This creates a deficit, a void in her psychological defense system. When a man knows how to touch, not just to grab but to communicate, he bypasses the logical brain entirely. He speaks directly to the amygdala, the emotional center, the primitive core. If she lets you touch a specific part of her body, she is not just letting you in physically. She is handing you the keys to her submission. But you must understand the map. You cannot just invade the capital city without crossing the border. Most men fail because they rush. They touch the wrong place at the wrong time, and the gates close forever. Today I will give you the map. I will show you the hierarchy of female vulnerability, from the zones that mean friendship to the zones that mean ownership. And finally, the one spot that proves she is already yours. Forget what you think you know about dating. Forget the pickup lines. Words can be lies. Her body cannot lie. Let us peel back the layers. You think air is empty space. It is not. It is filled with invisible walls, territories that you cannot see, but you can certainly feel when you crash into them. In the 1960s, anthropologist Edward Hall defined this concept. He called it Proxemics, the study of how humans use space. He discovered that every woman walks inside a bubble, a series of concentric circles that define her safety. There is the public zone, where strangers exist. There is the social zone, where acquaintances exist. And then there is the danger zone, the intimate zone. This is a radius of roughly 18 inches, 45 centimeters, extending from her skin outward. This is sacred ground. Biologically speaking, only two types of creatures are allowed inside this circle, those who are about to kill her and those who are about to love her. Think about the gravity of that. Violence and intimacy trigger the exact same proximity alert. When an unwanted male steps into this 18-inch radius, her reptilian brain screams danger. The amygdala fires. Cortisol floods her bloodstream. Her muscles coil. She prepares to run or she prepares to fight. This is the flight or fight response. It is an evolutionary tripwire designed to keep the female safe from predators. So what happens when you step in? If she does not recoil, if she does not take that half step backward, something miraculous is happening in her brain. She is manually overriding millions of years of survival instinct. She is suppressing the fear response because the desire for you is stronger than the instinct to protect herself. This is the first true test of submission. Before your hand ever makes contact with her skin, your presence must make contact with her space. You must watch her reaction closely. When you lean in, does she freeze? A freeze is not a yes. A freeze is fear. Does she lean away? That is a hard no. Respect it and retreat. But does she hold her ground? Does she tilt her chin upward? Does her breathing shift from her belly to her chest? That is the override. You have hacked the system. You have turned an intruder alert into an open invitation. Why does she flinch when he touches her? You know who I am talking about. The man who hovers, the nice guy who asks for a hug, the desperate man trying to steal a moment. She flinches because he feels like a thief. He is entering her space to take something from her. Validation, pleasure, attention, but you're not there to take you're there to occupy. There is a massive psychological difference. When a woman allows you into her intimate zone, she is sending a clear signal, I am safe with you, or perhaps even more telling, I am willing to be unsafe with you. She is craving the volatility, This proximity creates a chemical pressure cooker. Oxytocin starts to simmer. Dopamine begins to drip. The air between you becomes thick. You can physically feel the heat radiating off her body. This is the tension. If you touch her before establishing this tension, you're just another annoyance. But if you establish the tension first, the touch becomes a relief. She is begging for it. She wants you to break the tension. She wants you to bridge the gap. But you must be strategic. You do not storm the castle. You test the perimeter fences. You look for the unlocked gates. We start with the zones that seem innocent. The places where she can deny her feelings, even to herself. Let us enter Zone 1. We begin in the neutral lands, the territories where the war is cold, but the strategy is hot. Zone 1 is the deception layer. This is where the game of plausible deniability is played. Women are masters of this game, better than you will ever be. She needs a way to flirt with you, to test your strength, without risking her reputation, without feeling easy. If she lets you touch her here, she can still tell her friends, "Oh, he was just being friendly. He was just being polite." You must understand this mask, and you must never rip it off too early. Let us examine the forearm and the elbow. Biologically, the skin here is thicker, less sensitive. It is designed for impact. It is the shield. Touching the outer arm is the safest bet in the world. It is the universal "excuse me." It is the "I am talking to you" signal. If you touch her arm and she pulls away, the game is not just over. It never even started. You are repulsive to her. Pack your bags. But if she stays, it does not mean she wants you. It means she tolerates you. Do not mistake tolerance for desire. This is where most men get stuck. They camp out on the forearm because they are afraid to move up. Now consider the shoulder. This is the danger zone for you, not her. The shoulder is the capital city of the friend zone. Think about how men greet each other. They slap shoulders. They punch arms. It is camaraderie. It is devoid of sexual tension. If you pat her shoulder with a flat palm, you are sub-communicating that you are her brother or her teammate. You have castrated yourself psychologically. To turn the shoulder into a weapon, you must change the texture of the touch. Never pat, never strike. You brush, you use the fingertips, or you rest the hand with weight, heavy, grounded. This brings us to the most powerful tool in Zone 1, the upper back. I call this the shepherd. It is the space between her shoulder blades. This is not a sexual zone. It is a directional zone. When you place your hand on her upper back to guide her through a door, or to move her out of the way of a waiter, you are triggering a deep evolutionary program, the dynamic of leader and follower. You are steering the ship. You are taking responsibility for her movement. This is dominance, but it is benevolent dominance. It is protective. And here is the secret test, the barometer of her interest. When you apply that gentle pressure to her back, what does she do? Pay attention to the physics. Does she stiffen her spine? Does she speed up to break the contact that is a rejection of your leadership? She is saying, "I can move myself." She is fighting your frame. But if she slows down, if she leans back ever so slightly into your hand, and if she matches her pace to yours, she is accepting your guidance. She is signaling that she feels safe under your command. It is a micro-submission, a tiny white flag of surrender. She is letting you drive. And the woman who lets you drive her body through a crowded room is considering letting you drive her in other ways. But remember the rule of plausible deniability. This touch must have a reason. Look at that. Watch out for this. Let's go over there. You need a verbal alibi. If you just stand there rubbing her back for no reason, you're creepy. You are breaking the social contract. You use Zone 1 to establish the baseline, to check the temperature. Is the water warm or is it ice cold if she accepts the shepherd? If she leans into the deception, she is giving you the green light to escalate. She is waiting for you to take the risk she cannot take herself. She is waiting for you to cross the line from the safe zones to the emotional zones, the places where the blood runs closer to the surface, the places where friends do not touch. We are leaving the safety of the harbour. We are heading into deep water. We are no longer playing safe. We have crossed the border. We are now inside the perimeter where emotions live. Zone 2 is not about politeness. It is about connection. It is about testing the voltage of the wire. If Zone 1 was about direction, Zone 2 is about possession. Let us talk about the hands. You think holding hands is sweet. You think it is innocent. You're wrong. The human hand is a biological miracle. It is packed with more nerve endings per square inch than almost any other part of the body. It is a high-fidelity sensor. When you touch her hand, you are plugging directly into her nervous system, but you must distinguish the signal. There is the palm-to-palm touch. This is the mirror. It is tentative. It is testing the waters. It is checking for sweat, for tremors, for temperature. But then there is the interlock, when your fingers slide between hers and the webbing of your hands meets. That is the seal. That is the lock. Psychologically, she is closing the circuit. She is saying, we are a unit. We are together against the room. If she pulls away from the interlock, she is not ready to be seen with you. She is not ready to be linked to you. But if she squeezes back, if she adjusts her grip to fit yours perfectly, she is telling you that she fits. Now we move to the most dangerous curve on the map. The small of the back. We are moving down from the shoulder blades into the dip of the spine. This is high-risk territory because of where it leads. It sits directly above the hips, the reproductive center, the seat of desire. Touching the small of her back is a claim. It is no longer just let me guide you. It is I have you. It sends a primal message to every other male in the room. This is my territory, and it sends a message to her. I am strong enough to hold you. Watch her reaction here very carefully, because the skin here is incredibly sensitive to heat. She can feel your hand through her dress. She can feel your intent through the fabric. If she arches her back away from your hand, you have moved too fast. You have triggered the predator alarm. Retreat immediately. But if she leans back, if she allows your hand to rest there, to become a part of her center of gravity, she is surrendering her balance to you. She is trusting you to support her weight. And finally, within this zone, we have the knee, the seated barrier. You're at a bar, you're in a car, you're sitting side by side. There is a wall of air between your legs. You must break that wall. You do not grab, you do not squeeze. You place your hand firmly on the side of her knee, or just above it. This is the check-in. It is a lateral invasion. You're testing her comfort with your proximity. If she shifts her leg away, if she crosses her legs to create a blockade, she is closing the gate. She is protecting the path to the thigh. She is protecting her virtue. But if she leaves her leg there, stationary, or if she moves her leg to press against your hand, she is giving you the permit. She is accepting your touch as a natural part of her environment. She is saying stay, and that simple word stay is the bridge to everything else. Most men are terrified of the knee. They think it is too forward, but the knee is the gateway. If you cannot conquer the knee, you will never conquer the rest. Zone 2 is where you separate the boys from the men. The boys are afraid to touch. The men touch with purpose. They touch to own. But we are not done yet. We have only just established the connection. Now we must target the vitality, the life force, the zones that make her heart race, the zones that make her pupils dilate. We are entering Zone 3, the high stakes. We have left the safe waters of friendship. We have left the ambiguous zones of casual dating. We are now standing on the edge of the cliff. Zone 3 is the vitality layer. These are the parts of the body that scream life. They are the control centers. They are the places where the blood pumps the hardest and the nerves are the most exposed. You cannot touch a woman here by accident. There is no oops, there is no excuse me. Every touch in Zone 3 is a declaration of intent, and if she lets you stay there, it is a declaration of surrender. Let us begin with the hair. You think playing with her hair is just a movie cliché. You're missing the biological reality. We are primates. We are animals in expensive clothes for millions of years. Grooming was the primary way we bonded. It was how we lowered the cortisol levels of our tribe. It was how we said, I'm here to take care of you. When a man runs his fingers through a woman's hair, he is not just messing up her style, he is triggering a deep trance state in her brain. The scalp is rich with nerve endings. It is the helmet that protects the mind. By allowing you to touch her head, she is allowing you to touch her thoughts. She is giving you access to the command center. Watch her eyes when you do this. Do they flutter? Do they close completely? Does her head tilt back to give you better access? That is the grooming response. She is entering a state of relaxation so deep it mimics sleep. She is trusting you not to hurt her while she is vulnerable. If she pulls away, if she worries about her hair being messy, She is still performing. She is still worried about how she looks. She is not in the moment with you. But if she lets it happen, she is prioritizing your touch over her vanity. That is a massive victory. Now we move to the face. This is the frame, specifically the chin and the cheek. This is the most confrontational touch of all, because it demands attention. You cannot look away when someone is holding your face. The world disappears. The background noise fades out. It is just you and her and the terrifying intimacy of being seen. Consider the chin lift. You place a finger under her chin and you gently lift her face to meet yours. This is pure dominance, but it is not aggressive. It is inviting. You are changing her perspective. You are literally forcing her to look up to you, psychologically and physically. If she resists the lift, if she keeps her chin tucked, she is hiding. She is protecting her throat. She is refusing your lead. But if she rises with your finger, if she exposes her neck, she is opening the gates. She is saying, "Lead me." And then there is the cheek cup, the hand on the side of the face. This is the cherish signal. It frames her as the most important thing in your universe. But it is also a trap, because it restricts her movement. She cannot turn her head without breaking the contact. She has to choose. Break the connection, or stay in the cage of your hand. If she leans her cheek into your palm, if she closes the gap between her skin and yours, she is choosing the cage. She wants to be held there. She wants to be the focus of your obsession. And finally, within the vitality layer, we have the silent killer, the inner wrist. This is the most underrated zone on the female body. Most men ignore it. They go for the waist, they go for the shoulder. But the wrist. The wrist is where the secrets are kept. Look at your own wrist. Turn it over. The skin is translucent. It is thin. It is fragile. You can see the blue roadmap of your veins. You can see the pulse. The rhythm of your heart is visible right there on the surface. Historically, biologically, the inner wrist is a zone of fatal vulnerability. If you cut the wrist, the life ends. So when a woman exposes her inner wrist to you, it is a subconscious gesture of ultimate trust. It is the "I will not fight you" signal. And when you touch it, with your thumb right over the pulse point, you are doing something electric. You are syncing your rhythm with hers. You're feeling the speed of her heart. Is it racing? Is it calm? You're checking the engine. This touch is subtle. It can happen across a dinner table. It can happen while walking, but the message is deafening. I have your life in my hands, and I will be gentle with it. If she pulls her wrist away, or turns it over to show you the hard outer bone, she is armoring up. She is deflecting. But if she leaves it open, soft, exposed, she is waiting for you to take the pulse. She is waiting for you to feel what you do to her. Zone 3 is where the tension becomes unbearable. We have touched the mind through the hair. We have commanded the focus through the face. We have felt the life force through the wrist. But there is one final barrier, one final zone that changes everything. The apex, the kill shot, the place where biology and desire collide. And there is no going back. We have climbed the ladder. We have breached the walls. We have navigated the safe zones. We have tested the emotional waters. We have felt the pulse of her life. But now, we arrive at the destination, the answer to the question you asked when you clicked this video. If a woman lets you touch this body part, she is already yours. It is not the chest, it is not the thigh, it is the neck, and specifically, the throat. This is the apex, the kill shot, biologically speaking. This is the most terrifying place on the human body to be touched. In the wild, when a predator takes down prey. Where do they go? The throat, the jugular vein, the windpipe. To control the breath is to control the life. To sever the vein is to end the future. Every instinct in her DNA is wired to protect this 3-inch column of flesh. It is the bridge between the head and the body. It is the most vulnerable point she possesses. So what does it mean when she exposes it to you? When she tilts her head back? When she sweeps her hair aside and offers you the white skin of her neck? She is overriding millions of years of survival evolution. She is suppressing the scream of her ancestors. She is saying something profound. I trust you not to kill me. I trust you with my breath. I trust you with my life. And because the brain cannot distinguish between extreme fear and extreme arousal, this trust converts instantly into desire. This is the biology of submission. But there is more. Running through the neck is the vagus nerve. The superhighway of the parasympathetic nervous system connects the brain to the heart, to the gut, and to the reproductive organs. When you stimulate the skin of the neck, you're hacking this nerve. You're sending a direct signal to her body to relax, to open, to surrender. But you must be surgical. You do not grab the throat like a barbarian. Not yet. You graze it. You use the backs of your fingers. You trace the line from the ear down to the collarbone. You watch for the shiver. That shiver is not cold. It is the nervous system resetting itself. It is the walls coming down. If she flinches and covers her neck with her hand, she is protecting her life. She does not trust you. Back off immediately. But if she closes her eyes, if she exposes more surface area to your touch, if her breathing changes from a rhythm to a gasp, the game is over. You have won. She has given you the ultimate clearance. She has handed you the remote control to her physiology. She is no longer guarding the fortress, and she has opened the gates and is waiting for the conqueror. At this moment, she is not just interested. She is not just attracted. She is yours, completely. But remember this, with total surrender comes total responsibility. You have the access codes. Now, what will you do with them? You now possess the map. We have dissected the anatomy of surrender, from the safe harbour of the shoulder, to the emotional grip of the hand, to the lethal vulnerability of the throat. But a map is useless to a man who is afraid to walk the path. I must leave you with a warning. Access is not the end of the game. It is the beginning of the obligation. When a woman grants you access to these zones, she is handing you a heavy responsibility. She is not looking for a roommate. She is not looking for a nice guy to validate her. She is looking for a leader. She is looking for someone who can handle the voltage. If you get the signal, if she exposes the neck, if she leans into the hand on her back and you do nothing, if you hesitate, if you apologize, if you ask for verbal permission when the physical permission is screaming at you, you will insult her biology. You will prove that you are not safe because you are not strong enough to lead, and the gates will close permanently. Do not touch if you are not ready to hold. Do not aim for the neck if you're terrified of the pulse. Most men want the reward without the risk. They want the skin without the mind. That is why they fail. That is why they are forgotten. You are here because you want to be memorable. You are here because you want to understand the silence between the words. The power is now in your hands, literally. If you are ready to accept the burden of command, if you're ready to read the script written on her skin, then prove it. Subscribe to the channel. Join the few who understand the reality of human nature. Like this video if you learned something about yourself today, and comment below. I see the signs. I am the voice inside your head. And I will see you in the next deep dive mine before